So they don't know what is life outside India. Even we had not.
सॉरी, इसको सेटल करना पड़ेगा 2 मिनट. विहान.
देखे तो IDs को कलर.
Let's watch videos.
Alexa, switch off TV.
ये वो वाला.
काम चल रहा है भाई, घर में हर जगह टीवी है.
भाई एलेक्सा ने वाला टीवी आपने तो उसको
Connect किया.
कनेक्ट किया हुआ है.
देखा है
वो आ गया.
मान ही नहीं सकता वो कि
मुझे पता है भाई. Don't touch this.
Every time we come up with different people, different stories. This time we are going to be talking about Kapil and Kanika. We'll be going inside their house and let's see how real people with real dreams talk. Let's get in.
It was making sense to buy into property because ultimately you're paying the same EMI in
Yeah.
EMI that you're paying in the rent.
Yeah.
So why to sponsor somebody else's house when you can sponsor your own? Go into the property market quick
Okay.
when you don't have liabilities.
You can even do it yourself if you want to.
Yep, but I know I won't.
Okay. Why won't you do it yourself again?
So it's not only time, it's the other factors also which made us think that we should, yes, definitely go with the buyer's agent.
So that's a generational wealth we are building. It's not a one-time fluke that we are looking for.
Yep. Hello everyone, this is Rocky Rana from the Rialta Property Buyers Agency. We are based in Melbourne CBD, buying properties across Australia using data. Today we have got Kapil and Kanika alongside with us. They are our clients, they have used our services and they are our friends as well.
Hi, my name is Kapil Suri. I'm an IT professional working for Simplus Australia and I've been living in Melbourne from the last 5 years. And here's my little one, 3-year-old Mr. Vihan Suri. Say hi.
Say hi.
No, he's not in the mood.
Hi, I'm Kanika. I'm an IT professional. I have been in profession for around 12 years.
Okay, let's start with you, Kanika, who you are.
So yeah, I'm a software engineer leading a team of 5 or 6 people, and I'm basically from Gwalior, from Madhya
Yep.
Pradesh.
Yep.
And we shifted to Australia 5 years back, and our journey was quite interesting since then.
Why did you come to Australia?
From the childhood, it was my dream. Like I had seen my relatives, my friends, all being well settled abroad, and I used to always think like, okay, I also want to be there someday. So it was my goal from the childhood itself. Like I want to be there. So I always used to keep thinking like how I will reach there.
We almost called off our marriage because of this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a different story. But yeah, I was dedicatedly focused on how I can reach there.
Okay.
So finally, we explored a lot of options. In between exploring the options, I met Kapil and we got married. That's a different story. I'll not start with that.
Okay.
So, and then we started applying for the PR and everything for Australia, Canada, and then finally we landed up in Australia.
From 2016 when we got married, we were like,
Yeah.
one prime focus was to travel and make sure that we end up in a better place.
Okay.
So that was our main goal
Okay.
for next couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyone who's looking at this video would be interested in knowing your journey into real estate world. So you guys came here in 2019 and you have got this house. Can you share briefly how has been your experience of finding a house on your own? Were there sort of challenges because you were new into the country and you so where was the guidance coming from, like when you should buy, what you should buy,
Yeah.
how much you should pay? Where was that guidance coming from?
People that we know, friends and families, they were
So
on the same
basically,
phase.
our friends were searching the house for themselves because
Yep.
they came before we landed up here
Who?
in Australia. Shamil,
My cousin.
cousins,
Okay.
friends,
friends,
Okay.
yeah.
everyone. So we used to go with them
Yeah.
and explore the areas and the houses
Mm-hmm.
just for increasing our knowledge, because we knew that at some point of time we will also be going in the same direction
Yep.
for buying house for ourselves.
That point of time, you were in CBD, somewhere
Yes,
around
see,
there,
Exactly.
we were in
Yeah.
right in front of Botanical Gardens,
Okay.
Shrine of Remembrance.
right? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So the journey started from there.
Okay.
The journey started long before we landed to Australia. She had like
See,
she's
I'm
the
always
goal setters
clear
for
what
us.
I want.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so she has all those steps planned up for the next 20 years, I
Uh-huh.
believe.
See, he didn't have that plan to buy a house, but I had that from India itself.
Yeah.
Okay, first we'll find a job. After
Yeah.
a few months or maybe
Get
whenever
a
we are
house.
comfortable, we'll get a house.
Yeah.
And then we'll
grow
move,
a family,
grow a family.
then
And then-
whatnot, and then finally investment,
Yeah.
then retirement. I don't know. I mean, the list goes
No,
on.
not that much. Not that much. I have short goals, short-term goals, not long-term goals.
Yep.
Long-term goal is something which we can achieve when we can achieve short-term goals on
Yep.
time. So
Then she started pushing thing. We need to move into a house, or
Yeah.
like, and it made sense, to be honest, because when you are renting in a house in CBD, it's
Yeah.
almost the same amount at that point of time when the interest rate was relatively lower, like
Yeah.
2%, 3%.
That was about 2.5%.
2.5%. Yeah. So that time I think the it was making sense to buy into a property, because ultimately you're paying the same EMI in
Yeah.
EMI that you're paying in the rent.
Yeah.
So why to sponsor somebody else's house when you can sponsor your own?
Yeah.
That was the mindset. Then we started researching, talking to friends, colleagues,
Yeah.
how they have succeeded in buying the property. What I learned from others, and anybody who is interested in buying the houses when they land in Australia,
Yeah.
go into the property market quick.
Okay.
When you don't have liabilities. And when I say liabilities, like when you grow, you have family, you have kids, definitely it impacts your borrowing capacity and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that when we started that, when we started the journey of buying the property,
Yeah.
that time we were not across those terms.
Yeah.
But then when we went the next time, we realized more. And when we talked to other people who were in the same bucket, we were like, we were thinking, but we didn't. We thought of moving to the family phase first and then buying the property. It doesn't work in your favor.
Yeah.
So ideally, primary place of residence, as I said, rather than investing somebody else's property,
Yeah.
why not invest yours? So
Perfect.
just land in the
So, just to capture your journey of buying your first home yourself, it was that you shortlisted this area basis
Yeah.
on where your friends
and family.
friends and family was going. You were going to the open homes
Yeah.
alongside with them, and then you had a certain budget in your head.
Yeah.
And okay, so when you buy a first home, there are quite a few things you need to check, like how is the house, is the location right or wrong, and there is a hard negotiation as well.
Yep.
How was your experience with that? Like how did you arrive to a number that this is the right price and this is the right property for us?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. Now, when I realize it's a good question, we never thought of it,
Yeah.
to be honest. Because then that time we were not, I would say, we were not equipped with the knowledge
Yeah.
required. Ultimately, because we were supposed to live in the property,
Yeah.
the decision was totally with the lady of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So she was very picky about, I need this, I need that color, I need this house. Luckily for us, the ex-display house came in,
Yeah.
and the moment we went to look into this property, Kanika was almost convinced that I'm getting this house.
Was okay. Okay, when you came into an open home, was there a sales agent standing there?
He was not, as I said, the entire street was on sale at that point of
Okay.
time, because these are all ex-display house.
Okay.
Almost like 8 properties were on the market.
Okay.
So, and there were just 2 guys, so they
So-
just left us the keys. and
that
they
was
Okay,
the
all right.
first
inspection.
day of inspection
Yeah. Sure.
after COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
In
it
between
started.
COVID, basically.
Okay.
There was just
In between COVID, yeah.
The lockdown. They were not allowing us.
So you looked at the property, you loved it, you made up your mind
Yeah.
because you were emotionally already
Yeah, convinced.
that you want to buy this property. Now, how did you come to know that what is the value of this property?
Like on a very high level, I at least had that mindset that you know, it's the land that appreciates,
Yep.
not the house.
Okay.
So my
And the land size of this property is?
was around 500 and like it's around 510, 515 square.
Okay.
So and it's a regular plot,
Yep.
which is always, and again the park facing, the location, everything, it added up. So ultimately, I knew that the property, and when I did my research, I knew the houses in this area at that point of time, 2019, I'm talking about, was somewhere around in the bracket of 650 to 700 mark.
Yep.
And definitely, I knew when I purchased it that I would be paying an extra premium, but that premium was for the ex-display house.
Now let's talk about how did you negotiate then about this property?
So this property was, as I said, because it's an ex-display house. I think they were in a hurry to sell the property because of some parameter. The property should be less than 5 years old,
Yeah.
and something like that. Then you get those benefits out of the government.
Okay.
So they were in a situation where they wanted to sell the property.
Now you have got your own property in 2020. You are in 2024. When did this plan came up in your head or heart that now is the time you want to grow yourself? I have no idea. You might be investing into cryptos, shares, properties.
like that.
I have no idea about it.
Nothing like that.
How has your growth been from 2020 now to 2024? That is what audience or myself would want to know about you.
Yeah. So, like as I said, when I met Kanika, it was clear she wanted to travel outside.
Yeah.
And that requires fund.
Yeah.
So we
Money, honey.
money, honey. Yeah. So we were like grabbing every cent by the and trying to gather as much, because one thing which I definitely wanted was to come to Australia at our own confidence, at our own money, not borrowing or getting something like that. So whatever funds that we
You
had,
want to gravel?
yeah. Come.
Okay.
So whatever funds that we had, we were not investing. I wanted to keep the funds liquidated, for that matter, and that helped us when we came here.
So, liquidated means you saved the money.
Yeah, saved in my saving accounts without any investment, nothing doing. We were told like that you can expect a job in maybe 6 months,
Yeah.
7 months, depending on the market,
Yeah.
how it is. So we came prepared for at least for a year, saying that at least even if a year, if I don't get a job,
So you had so much of money into your accounts that you were prepared that if we are to live for about a year in Australia
Yeah.
without the jobs, you
or
can
any
go.
job, I can go. I think we were fortunate. That's why I say I love this place because Melbourne has given us so much. We have been so fortunate.
Yeah.
That I landed in Australia in July,
Yeah.
and within 15 days I had a job. So all that money, surplus money,
Yeah.
definitely helped us in acquiring us the first property which we are living in right now. But with respect to investment, I don't think so. Even after that, the mindset was to grow the family first,
Yep.
because we were already married for like 5 years. We
Yeah.
wanted to grow the family, get the little one out. So yes, I think that was the mindset, and things changes when you have a little one around. Of course you would agree to it.
Yeah,
Your
sure.
priorities changes, your way of
Absolutely.
thinking changes.
Absolutely, everything changes.
And that is the time that when at least Kanika was anyways, she's always clear headed about the goals and opportunities. I'm not, but after Bihan, I started realizing that I need to do something. I need to take some actions, otherwise might be too late.
Perfect. So let's talk about your actions now. So 2020 you got this property, and now in 2024 you have got Vian. Vian is almost 3
3
now.
years, yeah.
So why did you choose to buy a property instead of so many other options? So because anyone looking at this video, they might be into shares, they might be into crypto. So let's talk about your personal experience. Why did you choose the property?
So I think it's a mixture of couple of things. First thing is I like tangible assets, things which I can see, which I can feel, experience. So that's the reason I don't like cryptos, share markets, things like that. I personally don't like it.
But you would have heard from people that they have
Yeah.
they have made like millions in
Billions,
crypto.
and I don't know. I mean,
at least somebody in your friends.
yeah, my friends they started that crypto journey back in 2013, 2014, and they almost bought new cars. Even they lost basically.
Yeah.
So because I think quick money is something that comes quick and goes quick as well.
Yeah.
So they bought cars and whatnot and assets, all those kind of things with that money. Good for them. I want to be informed about what decision I'm taking with my money.
Yep.
I'll keep it with myself.
Okay.
I'm that kind of a person. I don't take risks.
Everyone is,
Yeah.
including myself.
Yeah, but some people have more risk appetite. I would say I am more conservative on that regard. So I like to take risks, but when the odds are not against me, they are with me. So that's the mindset I have. Until the time I'm not convinced, I'll not take the action. So so that's the reason. Share market pretty volatile.
Yeah.
A lot of things happening around. People think that they know, but they really don't know. Like statistically, people who are investing in shares, 94-95% of them are losing money. So I know that from fact. So anybody who is, no offense, like people might be making money, I don't know, but I'm not the person who can take that time, invest that time, learning about stocks and whatnot. I don't have the capacity. So that's the reason I started exploring other options.
So sure. So no shares, no crypto. Then okay, the only option left is property. Have you
Property
had
or gold? Yeah.
Okay, gold as well.
Gold.
Do you invest? Do you invest
I mean,
in gold?
we started now.
Okay.
We started now couple of years back. So now we like at least whenever she's out for shopping, I convince her to go for gold rather than diamonds. From an investment point of view, I am more into gold, like do gold and whatnot.
Okay.
But then you have, when I talk to my friends and everybody, especially in the Australian market, I still remember the first time I was buying my house. My broker at that time, he was convinced and he told me with full authority that this is not your dream house.
Yeah.
This is not your last house.
Yeah.
Houses in Australia, people change like clothes.
Yeah.
So because your priorities would change, your lifestyle would change. Eventually, you would want a bigger house or a different location because you want to have good school and whatnot. Forget the sales side of things, but the overall the process of acquiring a house is not very what should I say?
Complex.
It's not very complex. With the same when government authorities are involved, the processes are there.
Yeah.
You hardly have to do few signs and the property is yours, right?
Yeah.
Finding the property is difficult,
Yeah.
but getting that property from
It's
a
pretty
legal point of
straightforward,
view,
yeah,
it's
you're
pretty
right.
straightforward. There's no rip-off.
Yeah.
You get what you paid for.
Yeah.
You can have your due diligences. So that way, I think that gave me confidence
Yeah.
to buy more property in Australia
Yeah.
rather than investing in places like India where I know there are good chances of making money, but then
Yeah.
eventually it could be that things might not go in my favor.
Sure, perfect. So let's deep dive slightly more into this because everyone looking at this video is thinking about buying properties, growing their portfolios and whatnot. The question is, did you give it a shot yourself? Like, if yes, how did you give it a shot? What were the challenges you faced? Because you have ended up hiring a buyer's agency, a professional non-buyer's agency. So did you give it a shot yourself? And where did you reach to a T point?
So I'll start with the whole notion of, as I said, like when I bought the first property here,
Yep.
a lot of the terms I was not even across.
Yep.
I want so they're saying, right, when you want to get things done, you have to walk the walk, talk the talk.
Yep.
So that is something which I was missing, and that's knowledge
Yep.
on how, when, where, those questions, how do you get answers to that? What are the things that you should be looking at?
Yep.
So me and some of my friends who were in the same bucket,
Yeah.
who wanted to do some investment, we started looking around, exploring options, and again there are heaps and heaps of people, gurus
Yep.
that are, and no offense, they give you value
Yep.
from their experiences. Definitely worth attending those seminars. We did those as well. My friend also did some. But again, every agency or every such institutions have their own way and approach to deal with it.
Yep.
Some say go in a posh place, invest more, you will get better returns.
Yep.
Probably true, but then you have to look at the cash flow. You have to look at rental yield. You have to look at all the other parameters which basically technically you should be aware before making that decision. So we ended up buying a course and start giving it a go. It was very informative,
Yep.
very clear, and again, it was more on data.
Yep.
So we definitely gained a lot out of it.
Yep.
The only challenge which I was facing, and again I think Kanika also gave it a go. We spended time. All this thing needs is time, dedicated time.
Yep.
With a little one, it was difficult.
It was difficult to,
Yeah,
you know,
because
get time.
because we are like full time jobs. Then after that, again doing those home chores along with managing the little one.
Yeah.
I could take out time like maybe like a week, 10 days, 15 days at
Yeah.
a max in a stretch,
Yeah.
giving 1 hour, 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, by the time I could make any conclusion, this market and this whole idea of investing in real estate is so volatile because by the time you make up your mind and you get the confidence of going in the market, probably you might have missed the bus.
So your decisions need to be quick.
Yeah.
This is
Yep.
one point. In addition to this, the second point is like we were not confident whether we will make a right decision
Yep.
in that whole process. And third point was that we didn't have access to the off market deals as
Yep.
well.
Okay.
So it's not only time, it's the other factors also which made us think that we should, yes, definitely go with the buyer's agent, which will smooth our process.
Sure.
We will be more confident, and also we will have an access to the off market
Yeah.
deals as well.
Yeah.
So
Even
it was a
simple-
combination of
Yeah.
different
It's simple
things.
thing like whether you have equity in your primary place of residence. How much do you have it? How do you start that conversation with the bankers or the brokers? How do you identify a good broker? How do you identify?
So the takeaway from your message is that you do the course, of course, because you
Get the knowledge.
you don't know anything.
Yeah.
You don't know. It's
You
a,
don't
it's
know.
a
So
good starting
if you
point.
get an opportunity to do a course, this is what you learn
Yeah.
towards the end. But then you need time to pull the trigger as well
Yep.
to understand. Plus, you were feeling slightly risky as well.
Yes.
If it will be right or wrong, and
Right.
that is where the need of hiring someone as a third party, a buyer's agency or a buyer's advocacy comes into the place. That is
Yep.
great. Thank you guys. Now let's get to know a slightly more into it. Like the next step is which one to hire. There are so many options out there. There are Facebook advertisements. Then you know few of them personally. Then you are getting a lot of Google as well, that you will put a keyword that I want a buyer's agency. They are paying for Google SEOs and all
Yeah,
of
of
that.
course.
So how to choose one that fits for you, and then just share a bit about like why you ended up choosing us over any other options you had, apart from the fees what we have charged.
No, I would say, see again, first thing is like when you buy that course, complete that course, you will at least get some confidence on how this market works. Get your numbers right. You have to get your numbers right. You need to know what you are worth, what your property is worth, how much you can, what kind of risk appetite you have, those factors in, and then finally talk to a couple of agents and try to see whether their approach, because everybody
So
have a pattern.
the moment you say speak to some agents, you mean to say buyer's
Buyer
agency.
agent, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Speak
we
to some buyer's
tried
agency,
we
okay.
tried couple of
Okay.
and again as I said, because my friends were also there, they were also looking at different agencies. Eventually, it's all about when you are see future. Nobody is a fortune teller, right? So
Yep.
nobody knows what happens in the future. It's more about when you interact with somebody, you get confidence whether this guy is having the knowledge, whether this guy can help, and whether he is honest. So that is a feeling which you get when you interact with a lot of people. You get to know that there are some set of people who work in a very, you know, um, defined pattern, and they are pretty rigid around it.
Yep.
Then there are people who are ready to, you know, give you a custom solution based on your needs, based on your risk appetite. They understand what what you can gain and how much you can gain, because ultimately everybody is here for the gain.
Yeah.
But to what extent, to what risks? So those are the factors which I think I would suggest when you talk to people, try to get and understand. Don't feel intimidated, because sometimes I've spoken to people where they may provide you information, they may give you insights which looks so overpowering,
Yeah.
and you feel like that you don't know things.
Yeah.
So I would say have confidence on your knowledge as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Have faith that whatever you have learned is something which is also correct.
Yep.
Again, validation is true, it's required, but have confidence on your beliefs as well.
Absolutely.
Be in your comfort zone,
Yep.
and try to get a person or a company which basically aligns to your goals, and they talk in your language.
Sure. Perfect. And how important was the trust when hiring someone?
It's key, right? Ultimately, it's not a matter of buying a 500 or 10 or $1,000 cricket kit or whatnot. It's a big investment. It's a long term process.
Yeah.
So eventually, you would want to have as much as ammunition in your side
Yeah.
to crack the deal which is best for you. And eventually, you, as I said, it's a long-term game. It's not something that, at least for me, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not that you want to go in the market, get the cash, and go out of the market. It's like a long-term 10, 15 years journey that we are on now.
Yeah.
So again, trust. If you don't have trust, you would eventually not continue in the same
Yep.
with the same person or same agency.
Yeah.
And everybody is different. Everybody's ways of working is different. So.
Yep.
That's what I would say. Trust is the key element here.
How do you validate, like, trust? How do you trust someone? What things you want to check?
I would say,
Obviously, the previous work that
Yeah.
that person has done,
Okay.
what benefits other people are getting.
Okay.
So we obviously watched your videos and your reviews. We had connect with some of the people.
Yeah.
So we got a very good feedback.
Yep.
So I think that's the first thing that anyone is looking, like
Sure.
trying to get the feedback of that particular person or agency
Yep.
to go ahead. And now we have already bought one property with you, so
Yep.
definitely that trust has increased.
Sure.
Because we can see the results by ourselves.
Sure. Now let's talk about you hired a property buyers agency to help you. What was your expectations when you hired a buyers agency? Because you only get to know when you pay the fees.
Yeah.
What was your initial expectations when you hire someone and you pay some money out of your pocket?
See, initially my expectation was that these people might only help me in identifying the right suburb, the right property.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
But then when I spoke to you, I met with the team.
Yeah.
Even before having the official commitment
Yeah.
and making that transaction.
Yeah.
Even before that, I think we had a couple of sessions,
Yeah.
both online and offline.
Yeah.
And then basically, that's where we got some confidence and clarity as well on the overall process.
Yeah.
Starting from understanding our requirement,
Yeah.
what our risk appetite is,
Yeah.
what are the things that we value in a property
Yeah.
based on our financial situation,
Yeah.
like whether it's negative gear or positive gear,
Yeah.
what do we really need?
Yeah.
So, and then getting a tailored response
Yeah.
is something that we were assured when we started. Following up with introducing and building up a team altogether, because it's not a single person or a
Yeah.
couple of persons been meeting together and getting a property.
Yeah.
You need to have the right broker, you need to have the right lawyer, you need
Yeah.
to have the right financial advisors,
Yeah.
CAs and whatnot. So ultimately getting the whole package, getting the inspections done, all
Making
those
the
things.
overall process very smooth for us.
buying a property is one thing, buying multiple properties are different.
Yep.
So you need to have the right structures, you need to have the right guidance to have those structures, and eventually you need to have right people who can support you and guide you based on your circumstances, based on your financial know-how. They can guide you and tell you. So that's important. If you don't do it right in the first time,
Yep.
you might get stuck up in the
Yep.
second or third property,
Yep.
because ultimately it's all about your borrowing capacity.
Now you have done that, and then the next step was to actually do a strategy call with you.
Yep.
I hope you guys remember it was a Zoom call
It was Zoom call, late
late
night.
night.
Yep.
How was your experience about that Zoom call? If you need to just explain it in a minute.
I think it, as I said, my initial understanding was that I'll only be paying it to get or identifying the niche markets.
Yep.
That was my expectation, but I think entire Realtor team surpassed that expectation in the first call itself, when
Yep.
you guided us and gave me confidence around that giving me the confidence, saying that this is the first property for you, but this might not be the last one. So
Yep.
we will be there every step of the way, and,
Yep.
and giving this guidance, right guidance at the right time.
Yep.
So that session, you explained the entire process,
Yep.
giving right understanding of the different team members, what
Yep.
roles they would be playing,
Yep.
what is expected out of me.
Yep.
Probably just getting that check ready with the full amount.
The point of doing that whole exercise was just to understand exactly what you guys want.
Yeah.
And so that our team, including myself, we deliver on exactly what you want. Not
Yeah.
like we just want to force fit anything for you guys. So I hope that went well
Yeah.
with you guys. Now after that, the education part, because we are a firm believer of making sure that any of our clients who are putting that trust on us, they should be well educated about the current markets right
Yeah.
now. Now, yes, data's you can check it up yourself as well, but
Yeah.
then hot markets data keeps on changing every week, every month, and you have experienced it yourself.
Yep.
When in about 4 months ago you bought a property, the same market, how the prices have been spiking up. Now, I just want you to share your experience. Like, how was that education part with Gurminder Singh?
Yeah.
How was that experience of a bird eye view, and what was the takeaway towards the end?
Yeah, so we started, as I said, because we had done those courses, we knew the markets, we knew that these are the places.
Yep.
Again, it's a big map for Australia.
Yep.
Very hard to find the right or pinpoint the right suburbs.
Yep.
He definitely informed us, Gurminder told us that these are the upcoming markets.
Yep.
We had, from our friends, Kanika's colleagues, they were like, Townsville.
Yeah.
And if you don't know understand anything, just invest in Townsville.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time when I spoke to Gurvinder, and he was like, dude, we have left Townsville 3 months back. so no point. I mean, that's stale news. Probably we might have to take a right decision. Again, we are not pushing. If you want, you can get us a property in Townsville, that's fine, but we won't recommend it.
Yeah.
So initially, I think we had this discussion, and Kanika was like, really, why do we need to go to the place where you are suggesting, why are all my friends are in Townsville? And I was like, I mean, I said, and eventually I have paid you money, right? So why not take the advice? And I think that's...
So we have to trust you.
yeah. That's one thing which I learned is like, if you are paying, either you don't pay money,
Yeah.
and if you are paid money, just listen to the professionals,
Yeah.
because they know what they're doing. So again, ideally that's the whole idea. We got the information from Gurvinder.
Yep.
He told us, pinpointed few suburbs in Queensland. We were wanting in Perth as well, but he recommended first go with Queensland, because
Yep.
currently that market is hot.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, fine. So the whole process started.
Perfect.
Yeah.
How was the experience when you actually deep dived in the market with us? You had deals coming your way in your chosen suburbs.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of overwhelming, to be honest. Like you get information, but good thing was consistency in the data.
Yeah.
Like when you know, like, and I think you quoted me when we first interacted, is that you will be getting the whole summary of each and every property
Yeah.
in a standard format, so that the first couple of you might have issues understanding what you're looking for, but
Yeah.
then going forward you will be very much acquainted around the pages of that document.
Yeah, so we actually call it a decision making report for you to check it out if it fits your goals or not. So that decision making report has everything and anything you need to know to
Before
make a
investing.
decision.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how was your experience with that decision making report?
I mean, it's very informative. Especially like you have all the information that, as you said, all the information that you need in a single place, in a single document, and in a structured format, so that from second property, you might have some confusion, and your team did a good job explaining us and clearing our doubts. But eventually, both of us being in IT profession, also we don't like reports that much.
We
So,
need time.
We need
Yeah.
time to analyze, and so initially Kanika and both of us were feeling overwhelmed. But then later down the line, sometimes Kanika was coming back to me because you send an report at 3 o'clock, and if I'm in a meeting, Kanika looked at the report and said, "This property looks convincing," and like, okay, at least you're talking in the same terms now. So yes, she was also confident. She knew what we are looking at. We as a couple made a decision. This is what we are looking at. We don't want a property in a risk zone because Queensland, as you know, is
Yeah.
either flooded or in a bushfire.
Yeah.
So we had our priorities right. The
Yeah.
numbers were stacking around,
Yeah.
and that made us more confident
Yeah.
around what our property should look like. First couple of reports, because there is so much of information, but then we had a session, I think, with Gurminder,
Yep.
and I explained, dude, I mean, I know you're doing your part, but some of the things are going up way above my head. Like, what am I looking at this? These pink, yellow, red, blue charts. What am I doing?
Yeah.
Because, and then he was kind enough to basically
Yeah.
give us some
Explain
time,
us.
explain us
What actually we need to
what
look
this
into.
mean.
What are the important points?
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's how we were able to analyze it and compare with the
Yep.
other as well,
Yeah.
which we missed.
So those kind of things, those kind of small things
Yeah.
gave us the right indications, the right level of confidence
Sure.
to say we are on the right path.
So our team gave you a property along with a report to make a decision. There was a cash flow sheet attached to it. There was a price tag to it, which we believe would be the maximum price of the property, which we believed would be the maximum rental of the property. You ended up buying that property for about $510,000. Now the question is, how did you feel, or how did you feel comfortable that what we are saying is correct?
I think it's more about when you showed us multiple properties. It didn't came in the first instance for
Yep.
sure, like typical Indian mindset.
Yep.
Give us more, show us more.
Yep.
Kanika, anyways, she always need 10 options
Yeah.
before she can.
Everybody
go back,
wants. Everybody
go back
wants.
to the first option
Yeah.
she liked in the first instance. So yeah, we looked into it. For me, I think one of the advices which I got from the courses and from you is like, just look at the numbers for the property, because
Yep.
it's an investment. Don't put your heart into it. So the numbers were speaking for themselves.
Okay.
The other thing is, it was not just a single scenario that you provided us in that sheet. There were
Yep.
multiple options given that, for
Yep.
example, if the property goes for 520,
Yep.
this is the rent, then what would be your yield?
Yep.
If it goes for 540 or 510 or 490, whatever it is,
Yep.
there were multiple options given to us.
Yep.
There was definitely due diligence that was done.
Yep.
We could see that, and then comparable sales
Yep.
around the suburbs that were also provided.
Yep.
Those factors gave us the confidence
Okay.
that yes, this looks like the amount close to what we would want to invest.
Okay. So the details provided to you made you comfortable that the pricing would be somewhere around that and you're not overpaying and everything. That is great. Okay, perfect. So we have done the negotiation for you. Your property was locked. We were estimating that property to be on the higher side, $530,000,
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
But we were able to lock it at about $510,000. Everything went well. So you liked the property. The deal was locked. after the deal is locked, there is a lot of paperwork, requirements, and everything is done. You guys are busy, and that is the reason you guys hired us.
Yes.
How was your experience from that deal locked until the end?
I think it was great. It was fantastic because first thing is, as you said, we are busy professionals.
Yep.
And again, we have a commitment, as you can see sitting next to us.
Yep.
So time is something that we did not have,
Yep.
and that's where you guys helped us,
Yep.
especially like those important steps
Yep.
that should not be skipped when you
Yep.
are buying any investment property.
Yep.
And the risk and the concerns basically gets more complex
Yep.
exponentially when you are buying it interstate.
Yep.
I haven't seen the property.
Yep.
I don't know nobody there. There's no uncle, no relative in this country which can vouch for that property for me.
Mhm.
But then when we interacted with you guys, you provided us with the local sitting there,
Yeah.
whether it is the real estate agencies
Yeah.
who would be managing our property, or it's the building and pest inspection. I think we even got some discounting done
Yeah.
when we negotiated after the building and pest inspection.
Yes. Yep.
So those kind of things, I think we never did that when we were buying our primary place of residence, to be honest, because we didn't knew that these are the things that you have to do. Legally, what are the things? Is there any easements? Those kind of things. So all those parameters were addressed
Yep.
in a professional way, which again gave us more confidence. It's not just with the property, for us lending, borrowing, and all those kind of things with the banks. The overall experience was good.
Yep.
There were hiccups, but we were made assured that it won't impact our deal.
Yep.
It was handled professionally,
Yep.
giving us confidence that these kind of things happen, and they certainly do happen,
Yep.
right? So all those small items
Yep.
that were marked and
Yep.
addressed gracefully basically gave us more confidence
Yep.
about the property that we have taken,
Yep.
and the overall procedure was
Sure.
enjoyable.
And did you feel that we are the one-stop shop for you? Like anything related to the transaction, be it your property managers, any thing needs to be fixed up there, be it your contract reading. Did we work with you as a? Okay, did we all work as a team for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know a lot of people and lot of nuts and bolts were there working
Yep.
for making this deal happen.
Yep.
Some of them I might not be even aware of,
Yep.
and frankly, I would not be aware of as well, because again, that's what I'm paying for.
Yep.
So I definitely got a good service with that respect, because even now, like after 4 months of guy purchasing the property, I'm again constantly in touch with you.
Yeah.
If you have any concerns or any issues that I want some answers to, I know I can knock your door and get those clarities and get those issues resolved. So I think that's the overall trust that we have built. And again, it's a teamwork.
Yeah.
So all kudos to your entire team for making this happen.
Thank you, sir. Now, it's been about 4 months. We showed you a property, we showed you a number around that property. You believed in data, you believed somewhere in us as well. How is the experience now? Has the prices gone up? Because that was what we were talking about initially, that we are going to take you in those warmed up markets where
Yeah.
if you will buy now, the prices will go up. Has it really happened? And if it has happened, how do you know about it?
Yeah, so I think I recently started looking into it because we wanted to take the next step
Yep.
of getting another property. I started the process. I think we spoke as well.
Yep.
But then I was looking at the comparable sales,
Yep.
and I can see the number going up.
Yep.
Definitely going up. So that is giving us a lot of confidence that maybe not maybe, but we have definitely made a good deal at the right time.
Okay.
And again, it's all about, as I said, in this kind of investment, it's all about timing. If
Yeah.
your timing is not right,
Mhm.
you might lose a lot of money rather than
Mhm.
gaining it. So now I can see with confidence that yes, we made a call,
Yeah.
we took the steps. It has really paid off.
Perfect. Thank you. I believe personally that getting your first investment property under a right structure at a right price, risk averse, everything else is right, because then you are more confident to buy a property number 2, 3, and 4.
Of course.
Yeah.
Now next property, I don't know if you need us or not, but then we make sure that in your first transaction itself, that you're educated enough, you're confident enough that your second, third, fourth,
Yeah.
you can even do it yourself if you want to.
Yep. But I know I won't.
Okay. Why won't you do it yourself again?
The situations have not changed. The parameters have not changed. Now I knew it before also, right? As I said in the starting, I knew the way to do it. But it's just too much of time, a consistent time that you need to study the market, and then finally, as Kanika rightly pointed, it's not just the knowledge; it's the right contacts also. So if you know people there are that who are dealing in and out in that market in person, then you get more such off market deals, which you might not even get or get listed on real estate and those kind of apps.
And also you can recover the prices that.
In the negotiation, yes.
Now from here, what is next? Are you guys thinking about scaling up?
Definitely. I mean, we definitely want to scale up, and again, the whole target is to, at the end of 15, 20 years of time, we should have a comfortable passive income built up in this country, so that we don't have to, at least, if not me, at least my kid doesn't have to think twice about his necessities being fulfilled.
Yeah.
So that's a generational wealth we are building. It's not a one-time fluke that we are looking for.
Yeah.
It's a generational, it's a thinking. I'm hopeful
Yeah.
that if we take the right steps, we will be hitting the target.
That's good. Hope is the thing. Perfect, guys. Thank you very much for your time, and take care of yourself.
Thanks.
Real people, real dreams.